A Nintendo Switch 2 reveal appears to be imminent. As a matter of fact, it could happen this week. That's according to an insider and a few people corroborating the same news that has been spread by Nate the Hate, known insider for getting quite a few things right. Let's dive into what has been said right now. So, long story short, and to get to the point, the reveal is expected on January 16th. Now, there's a lot of games that are expected to be coordinated with this reveal, and the Nintendo Switch 2 has long been teased. We've seen the Joy-Cons. I did a live stream where we discussed what these concept pieces looked like at CES, where creators of peripherals were showing them off. And now we have some quotes from Nate the Hate, known leaker. He did a podcast recently with MVG, who was a developer, and he said, I can share with you that Nintendo Switch 2 will be revealed in the coming week. I've been told Switch 2 will be revealed on Thursday, January 16th, just a few days from now. I've heard that the reveal itself is going to focus almost exclusively on the console itself. There is not going to be any presence of games. There could be a game shown running on the screen, depending on how the trailer is put together, but software is not going to be a focus. Now, I think Nintendo really does need to reveal their console sooner rather than later, because we're basically seeing images of the hardware come out via third-party peripheral manufacturers who are creating their own mock-ups based on the leaks, based on components that have already been out there. And if they're that far along, or at least that's what they're saying to avoid, getting sued by Nintendo, and if they're that far along in terms of what they're able to build with concepts, there's clearly desperation for Nintendo just to come out and actually reveal this thing. Now, even Nintendo has said that they plan to do this reveal in Q1 of this year. I don't remember specifically when they said the Nintendo Switch 2 will release, but here's what Nate and some other outlets have said about what we can expect from this reveal. The two-part reveal plan would align with how Nintendo showed the original Nintendo Switch and match with what VGC has been told about Nintendo's plan for the Switch 2 reveal. That is via VGC, who is corroborating what Nate the Hate has already said. So now we have two people talking about the same news beat. Nate the Hate has the added qualifier of including that January 16th date. So this seems pretty buttoned up, especially when you add Tom Warren into the mix, who tweeted or blue skied the following: in case it wasn't obvious from my tease and notepad this week, I've heard it should be the Switch 2 reveal this week. So that's three separate sources all agreeing with this Nate the Hate leak. And here's what Tom Warren had said originally in that post. Will Microsoft support the Switch 2 with Xbox games? Of course. From my notepad newsletter yesterday, and I'll link to that in the description, with Nintendo's unannounced Switch 2 console leaking nonstop right now, it also feels like Nintendo is just days away from making the Switch 2 official this month. I'm willing to bet that Microsoft will have some Xbox games ready for the Switch 2. We saw evidence of Hi-Fi Rush for Switch last year, and Grounded and Pentiment already made their way over to the original Switch. Perhaps the Switch 2 will be powerful enough for Sea of Thieves to make the jump too. Now, we'll talk about third parties in just a second, but first, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell if you do like my content, and hit that like button if you liked this video. So Nintendo has said the reveal is imminent. Obviously, they want to get something out in Q1. We know that Nate the Hate has said that it's probably coming this week. VGC has said that the reveal is imminent. Tom Warren has corroborated that the reveal is imminent. So those are people at all different outlets all saying the same thing. I'm going to chalk this one up to legit, but I've written it down in my Nate the Hate tracker to see how accurate he is. Nate, just doing my due diligence so I can back you up next time there's a leak that you are at the helm of, and I can say, look at all these other things he was right about. Anyway, he has also said for release, here's what Nate the Hate is thinking. It sounds as though it's going to be in Nintendo's Q1, which would be April through June. I still think I would favor that May to June timeline in terms of when the console would release, by the way. That's what he's sort of hypothesizing in his podcast with MVG. I'm thinking Mario Kart is a launch game and the 3D Mario game is a holiday game. So that's sort of where we're at with all of the Switch 2 stuff. Now you have to remember, this is coming hot on the heels right after GDC, when all of these third-party manufacturers were revealing their version of what the peripherals are going to look like for the Switch 2. That includes the split Switch 2 Joy-Cons, which honestly I think is kind of a cool design. I think that really, really works. And just some stuff that a lot of people are quite excited about. And then Nintendo had to come out and say, hey, that's not official Nintendo hardware here. I brought it up really quick. Nintendo tells Japanese newspaper the Sankei Shimbun the images and videos from CES are not official. Regarding the images and videos, they're not official. And then they had to come out to CNET Japan saying the gaming hardware that Genkai claims to be Nintendo hardware at CES is unofficial and was not provided to the company by Nintendo. And then Genki had to walk back any sort of claim talking about, oh, well, we made it from renders and all this stuff. So there's been a lot of back and forth on the Switch stuff and what we can expect from the Nintendo Switch and all of that stuff. But I am excited to see what comes at launch. Now, there was one other quote here. In terms of third-party releases, they're talking about, Nate the Hate specifically is talking about, one title coming in 2025 is going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake. Rebirth will follow in 2026. One title that will be within the launch window will come from Ubisoft, and it's going to be Assassin's Creed Mirage. I've been told that Ubisoft is doing more than half a dozen games for the Switch 2. They are from a range of franchises like The Division, Rainbow Six Siege, etc. That's all via Nate the Hate. Now, we will see if that winds up coming to pass. But I mean, so far, Nate has a good track record. He's backed up by basically everybody in the industry who is corroborating what he has been saying. And at this point, I think it is going to be legitimate. Time will tell. Now, I record these one take. So if I made any mistakes, be sure to correct me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. I greatly appreciate you watching. And a big shout out to everybody who supports on Patreon. Platinum members include Christopher, Philaroni, The Scarecrow 121, Inner Machine, Savage, and Spin Getter. Thank you so much. If you want to become a member here on YouTube at whatever level you choose to support the independent media that I'm creating, you can click that join button. If you want to support on Patreon, patreon.com/SaveStatePlus is the best place to do so. Thank you, everybody who has backed. If you want to see what Xbox has cooking, Xbox also has their own event right around the corner, January 23rd. Check out my video all about that. And I am going to see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.